The Gold and XRP Standard, today's title, and we're going to get right on into it, folks. The greatest transfer of wealth. I am your host, Zach Rector. If you haven't already, please hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. We got a lot of new stuff coming your way, so stay tuned. Today, we are trading at a 28,200 Bitcoin back up slightly this morning, almost 1,900 for our Ethereum, and our XRP's at 43 cents. A little bit of green, a little bit of recovery in the market today, May 10th, coming at you. We're about 6 o'clock here on the West Coast, and we have an explosive scandal uncovering and unfolding here before us, folks. Check it out. Okay, so this one's from Mario Nafal. Let's check it out. Breaking, we have an explosive Biden family scandal. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer will hold a press conference at the Capitol to reveal findings into President Joe Biden's family finances. Comer has set a noon deadline for the FBI to deliver an informant file alleging that Joe Biden took bribes while he was vice president. The focus of the press conference will be off. First, the press conference will focus on the Biden family's network of companies and the millions of dollars they receive from foreign nationals. 2, Comer plans to present a memorandum detailing findings and financial records obtained through bank subpoenas. 3, the findings will highlight the Biden's attempts to conceal large financial transactions from foreign nationals. 4, Comer will also announce future investigation actions related to the Biden family's financial activities. Now, previous findings. The Oversight Committee recently acquired bank records and reviewed suspicious activity reports suggesting that previously unreported Biden family members received foreign cash. So first off, financial transactions. We have previous findings from Comer. Subpoenas revealed financial transactions between Biden family associates and foreign entities. For example, Biden family associate Rob Walker received a $3 million payment from a Chinese firm, State Energy HK Limited, which was then passed on to the Bidens. 2, Biden family's foreign dealings. Information about the Biden family's foreign dealings has been partially uncovered through incomplete files found on Hunter Biden's laptop. Hunter Biden received millions of dollars from a Chinese firm affiliated with the Chinese government Belt and Road Initiative. He also co-founded a state-backed investment fund in China. Additionally, Hunter Biden earned income serving on the board of a Ukrainian natural gas firm, and his father, Joe Biden, had meetings with his business associates. The Russian connections, and then, I'm just going to skip over that. And the Justice Department investigation. The Justice Department is reportedly nearing a decision on whether to charge Hunter Biden with tax fraud and other alleged crimes. Comer may argue that the investigation is too narrow in focus. Will these findings result in Hunter Biden or even Joe Biden being charged? Now, folks, I can't confirm this. This is not a surprise in our community. We've been kind of watching this, and we've been calling out this corruption on both sides of the aisle. Absolutely. It's not just trying to attack the Democrats by any means. You know, for us, we see how both sides of the aisle have completely sold us out. But why are we covering this? Why is this important, folks? This is something that we warned about, the internal chaos of a falling empire, right? So if you read Ray Dalio's book, Changing World Order, he will talk about how when empires fall, they have internal chaos, and then they go have external chaos and launch wars. And, you know, we just sent another $1.2 billion worth of weapons to Ukraine yesterday when we're just about 3 weeks away from approaching our debt ceiling. So we're going broke, but meanwhile, we keep on sending the aid here. We launch new programs over there, and we try to hand out money to all of our buddies. And apparently, with what's being uncovered here, we got a little deal going on with Biden's buddies, okay? So you guys stay tuned on that. We'll watch that and continue to cover that further. And then in this next report here, folks, this is all part of it. That internal chaos only growing. An estimated 150,000 migrants in Mexico are currently headed to the U.S.-Mexico border as Title 42 ends Thursday. Border towns are preparing for absolute chaos. Report from Nick Sorter. What is going on? Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. What is going on? It's without a doubt, it's getting a little shaky, it's getting a little chaotic, and it's hard to explain some of these things, right? You try to just leave your bias out of it and try to understand what's taking place, and the mainstream media obviously tells you how you should think and how you should feel. But for me, I just continue to say, you know, how's the program working out? It's complete chaos, it's complete destruction. We are broke, we are bust, and our country now is going to have new challenges arrive and continue to grow, right? Unless we start to get some of these situations under control, it's only going to grow exponentially from here. This situation's getting dicey. Now, back to our economy, back to the data. Let's take a look. U.S. inflation falls to 4.9%, lower than expectations, according to our most recent update on the CPI lie. Now, the thing about this, while all of this chaos, while everything is going on, the numbers are coming back down. They're data that they get a report on. When they put the pundits up for us on CNBC to tell the American people to be fine, stay getting fat and happy, everything's okay. Our empire is not falling. Meanwhile, we understand that they manipulated how they calculate the CPI lie once again. So we don't have true numbers. I mean, I can't find one thing that's only up 4 or 5% year over year, right? Anything that matters in my life is up 20% plus. Now, you could obviously find some instances where prices are down or flat, 5%, okay. But I mean, on the stuff that really matters, which they've stripped out of the CPI calculations, it's all, way above 5% inflation. And so once again, it's complete bait and switch here with the American people. Everything's fine while we got all sorts of internal problems. I mean, look at all the way from the top down, our own president's family and all of these connections and everything that's getting exposed, which for me is not political. It's just like, what's going on here? Right? The mainstream media trying to downplay that while they tell us, oh, don't worry, folks, inflation's getting reined in. Meanwhile, we're looking at this situation like this thing's burning down right now. We have some problems here that we need to address. And we can't just be woke about it and talk about our feelings. We actually have to implement a program and a strategy and execute solving some of these problems, or we will fall. And we are on that path. Now, let's continue on here, folks. Check it out. The bank credit crunch has arrived. The Fed survey of bankers showed that 46% tightened lending standards in Q1 2023. That's heavily in recession territory and nearing the contractionary levels experienced during the pandemic, Great Financial Crisis, dot-com bust, and Gulf War recession. So when you look up here, banks are tightening credit. When do they do this? They do this during recessions, right? And now, we're not to the levels that we saw in the 2008 Great Financial Crisis, but we are approaching that rather quickly, right? That's undeniable. So they get a tout that the CPI lie is down, inflation's getting reined in. Meanwhile, the credit crunch has arrived. And what does that mean? That means the death of our economy, folks. They don't want to call it a recession either because that hurts some people's feelings. Even though we did meet the technical definition of Economics 101, 2 quarters of negative GDP growth has always been the technical definition of a recession. We achieved that in the beginning of 2022. They denied that it was a recession. Now, what is the words? Mild recession is the words. It was transitory. Now it's mild. And I just cut right through it and I say, this is the death of our economy. That is an incredible opportunity for those of us that are tapped in and prepared because obviously we're making our moves. This isn't going to stop our success in what we're doing, God willing. But to the mainstream, to Main Street, to the average citizen, right? They are getting completely blinded, completely distracted. And the unfortunate part here, folks, is that most people aren't even aware of these data points. Right? They're too busy watching Kardashians or whatever it may be on the television to not even understand what these events are leading up to. Now, speaking of events that are leading up to this reset, Patrick Riley shared this one. We have LIBOR to SOFR, June 30th. And that's your standard rate for loans and savings, right? London International Bank, what is it? I forget what it is offhand. But what we have is we have a transition underway, folks. Fed now starting in July, debt ceiling obviously coming up here in a couple weeks, less than 21 days now. 1.5 trillion commercial real estate bubble. So we have 1.5 trillion that has to be reset. The loans will come due and that'll have to be recollateralized once again here by the end of next year. We have Deutsche Bank derivatives getting exposed. We have Coinbase, one of the leading exchanges, trying to work with our government, getting a Wells notice from the SEC, while the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit continues on. We have the BRICS nations growing with 19 new countries that have joined their countries. The order of these events is irrelevant. The events are one thing. And so, like I always tell my community, I don't focus so much on the timeline. When is this going to happen? When is the moon going to show us this? And when's XRP going to be worth 589? What I say is focus on the inevitable events and invest accordingly, prepare accordingly, right? So with all of these, we can see a reset's underway. I'm not waiting for another country to tell me that they're going to gold backed. I'm not waiting for the SEC lawsuit to be over with and all of the partnerships and deals and that have been done behind the scenes to get revealed. I'm stacking my metals now. I'm stacking my XRP now. I know what's inevitable, and it is a victory for Ripple versus SEC and XRP being deemed not a security. That's inevitable. All the facts, the law is on our side. And in regards to precious metals, people are laughing. Oh, Zimbabwe's going to a gold-backed digital currency. Oh, that's funny. Until it's one after another, and until you're left not having the gold, not having the silver, not able to buy XRP because you can no longer get it. Remember, folks, I'm not just saying that. I'm not just trying to hype this up. We had a 200 million ounce deficit in silver last year. That means that 200 million ounces didn't get served up to the people that wanted it last year. Okay? Now, what we do have, though, folks, is outside the United States, the progress continues. Check out this article right here. Standard Chartered to launch digital asset custody services in Dubai. And so you'll see Standard Chartered signed a memorandum of understanding with Dubai International Financial Center to collaborate on digital assets, including digital asset custody. This is the very same Dubai International Financial Center that Ripple has just launched their new headquarters in. So, and remember, Standard Chartered is a Ripple partner. So on the same day that Brad is announcing in Dubai speaking, Standard Chartered is launching digital asset custody services in Dubai as well. So if they can't do it in the United States, they're going elsewhere. And it is not stopping. The SEC cannot stop this progress. They can only stifle it here in the United States. But God willing, the law is on our side and we are going to defeat the SEC. Now we move on over into the crypto news, guys. Check it out. Bitcoin transaction fees are up another 63% in the past hour to the highest level in years. It now costs an average of $30 per transaction, and many analysts predict it will break all-time highs in the near future. Now, how's that program working out? How's that working out in El Salvador and all these other countries, right? Where the people were going to adopt Bitcoin, that was going to be their savior, that was going to get them out of their currency crisis. Now, $30 per transaction. That doesn't work, right? This is the average transaction cost is more than someone's weekly salary in some of these countries. That's the reality. And that's not going to work. That program will not work. It will not fly. Meanwhile, it still costs, 10 cents to send an XRP transaction. Check it out. Now we have this one from Quads Jack. He is from Casino Coin, and we may be getting Jack on the show here soon. I got to meet Jack in Vegas, and he shares, in some countries, Bitcoin transactions now cost more than an entire monthly wage. Meanwhile, XRP Ledger transactions cost a fraction of a cent. Which one eliminates barriers for the unbanked? It's so clear. Now, this is what we love to see. I'll tell you what, Brad has a little new swag about him. He stays classy as ever, but he's got a little new swag. He stepped into the building, XRP Vegas, shook hands, took pictures, big smile on his face, classy as ever. But now he's done. He's not playing around, and he laid the smack down yesterday in regards to Jason from the All In podcast. Said something so stupid. I mean, these guys, they're smart guys. I don't know why they do this to themselves. Just one of the dumbest comments ever. XRP is obviously a security. It would have cost little for the Ripple team to have registered it as a security and played by the rules like everyone else in the industry does all day long. I don't believe it's naive. I think it's stupid. I don't know. I don't even get the reasoning behind this. If he's got his money invested somewhere else, maybe he's got his own play going on here, because that's just stupid. Just like Brad Garlinghouse says, check it out. He says, remind me when you learn securities law. This is embarrassing for you and hilariously wrong, as there is no framework to register digital assets in the US. But we're all used to you making controversial statements and trolling about things you know nothing about. Brad has had it, folks. He is laying it down, and I love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. And this comes off the news that Ripple will have spent $200 million fighting the SEC lawsuit. And like I said, Brad's got that new swag about him. Check it out. Making fun, taking shots at the SEC here in this clip. Check it out, folks.
So what's your message to the SEC chair as you sit here in the UAE and in Dubai announcing an expansion of your business to this region, given the state of regulation in the United States right now?
Who? No, I'm kidding. All right, so look, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. I find it as a U.S.
Now, I know that clip's very quiet, so I'm not going to play the whole 2-minute clip, but you guys can check it out. This is where he publicly announced for the first time that Ripple has spent $200 million fighting the SEC lawsuit. Now, the reason why I titled this video the Golden XRP Standard is because you are going to see both XRP and Gold part of setting XRP is part of setting the new standard. The Gold standard's been there. It's just whether or not countries tied their currency to it or abided by the standard. Okay, the Gold standard has been here for 2,000 plus years. What we now have is the XRP standard, and now what we're going to have is going to be the Ripple test. So you guys understand the Howey test applied to securities law. Well, now we're going to have the Ripple test. And before I get into this piece right here about the gold standard returning, I just want to remind everybody that you can get precious metals by going to my website. Let us know whether you want to roll over your 401k retirement account or if you want the metal shipped directly to you. We can facilitate both transactions. And this thing's happening quickly. Like I said, 200 million ounce deficit last year of silver. So it's not me trying to hype. It's not me trying to FOMO anybody. And I don't even care if you use my links. Go to your local dealer and say, I like setting up a relationship with my local dealer too. So I can, if I need to go sell some of this, I have my local dealer that I can have a relationship with as well. So whether you use my links on down below to get your precious metals or not, start the process because it takes time. The premiums are going up and the vaults are getting drained. It's a very simple setup. Now take a look here, folks. It's undeniable. Don't get left behind. The train has left the station. The gold standard has returned. Over 30 states are introducing and passing legislation to recognize precious metals as currency. The Federal Reserve has lost their monopoly on money. These states no longer have to accept fiat USD. The CBDC, question mark. And so what we have here is, this is shared here by Ariel, details on the latest Texas state legislation. On May 2nd, a Texas House committee passed a bill to create 100% reserve gold and silver-backed transactional currencies. The comptroller would also be required to create a mechanism to use 100% gold and silver digital currencies in everyday transactions. And so this is the deal here, folks. We have the gold standard returning. I mean, it never left, but now this is how we're going to peg our currencies back to a standard that we can count on. You need a standard that you can count on, that you can rely on, and that is unchanged, that has stood the test of time for 2,000 plus years. That's gold. Now, what's ready to stand the test of time for the next 2,000 years? I don't know if XRP is going to be that for the next 2,000 years, but at least for the next few decades, what we're looking at here is resetting the currencies, and we have to go find the standard. When it comes to precious metals, we understand the role that they play. We understand what gold has done, and we understand why states like Texas are doing this, why Zimbabwe is going to a gold-backed digital currency. But then, what else is happening? The central banks are buying more gold than they have in 50 plus years, and who are they talking with the most in all of the cryptocurrency space? Ripple, by far. CBDC pilot's already underway. National stablecoin pilot already underway. Proxy US and Euro stablecoin projects already underway. They start with the small countries that are kind of irrelevant. Oh, look at the little island of Palau. Look at little Bhutan. Oh, that's cute. Good job, Ripple XRP. People miss the whole point. These are proxy stablecoin CBDCs for the US and the Euro. Okay. And what's happening here, folks, is you need a standard, right? Everywhere you go around the world, 1 meter is 1 meter. One inch is 1 inch, right? Whether you use metric or standard, doesn't matter. You get the point. The standard remains the same. Same thing here with gold. You have something that is a standard, has been, always will be. Now, what's the new kid on the block? It's XRP and it's Ripple. So in regards to Ripple, they're going to establish the Ripple test, which will be the test that will be applied to all other cryptocurrency projects, right? And then when you look at the underlying technology, the native currency XRP and how that ledger works, I believe that XRP is setting the standard for that as well. Like we said, right now, Bitcoin's failing. Proof of work doesn't work, and $30 plus per transaction is the fee that you have to pay to use that ledger. How's that program going to work out when you compare it to XRP, where it still costs a fraction of a penny to use? Meanwhile, we have Ripple. You guys are seeing the progress. They just set up the new hub in Dubai. You're seeing them launch and grow, expanding across every single region across this globe, except in the United States. But like I said, I'm not waiting around for them to lift the veil and say, oh yeah, by the way, guys, our deal with Bank of America, it wasn't some joke. We didn't just do this for hype. We actually signed an allocation contract here, and Bank of America, we've actually allowed them to acquire 5 billion XRP. See, I'm not waiting around for those deals to get announced, because I believe that right now it seems as if the United States is getting left behind. And like I said, we are on the road to ruin unless we start to address some of these issues with serious programs and strategies. Right now, I say we got to focus on taking care of our family, our business, and our community. But I hope as a collective, as American citizens, we feel, like Brad Garlinghouse says, we feel sad. It saddens us to see the SEC here stifling innovation. But together, right, we got to take care of our family, take care of our business and our community, but then we expand out together as a whole here. We got to resist these people, and we got to stack the standard. The standard will be gold. The standard is going to be silver. And I believe that the standard is also going to be XRP when it comes to DLT technology. It just works. And now the utility is coming. We got NFTs. We're about to get automated market makers, XLS38D as well, cross-chain capabilities. And these are all going to be must-haves for any blockchain going forward. I think this narrative of Bitcoin only being a store of value and that's all it needs, that's all Bitcoin needs to be. And you even see the Bitcoin Maxi saying that the transaction fees going up is how Bitcoin is supposed to work. That's fine, that's dandy, but that doesn't actually help the unbanked. That doesn't help out most of the world, right? And then what you see here in the United States is the SEC getting completely exposed with the rest of the government. Circling back here to the beginning of this episode, all the way up to the top president family getting exposed for their business dealings and everything. All part of the internal chaos that's going to keep you distracted, and it is potentially going to lead us down to the road of ruin. But that doesn't have to be the narrative for you, your family, and your business. So if you're looking to get tapped in, make sure you smash the thumbs up on all of our content, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think, hit that notification bell, and then if you want to get tapped in with us, you can go to my website and you can get your precious metals there. We got crypto wallets. Use those links on down below to support the channel. We really appreciate that. But then you can also join our Patreon Discord group as well. We would love to have you in the family. Let's take advantage of this opportunity. It is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, without a doubt. It's just a matter of what side of that transaction are you going to be on? What side of that transfer are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the giving or the receiving? Okay. Our plan, we're going to be receiving a lot. We understand we've positioned ourselves accordingly, but after that, we're going to be giving back as well. And like I said, in XRP Vegas, the energy was infectious. We are in this fight together. And like I said, if you didn't make it to the XRP event this year, don't worry. We got another one coming next year, but we need to keep this energy rolling. I know that over the last 48 hours since I've been back from Vegas, I have just been lit up with energy, positivity, while I'm watching all this internal chaos, watching all these distractions, watching the Bitcoin program fail. I sleep peacefully at night knowing I'm stacking my silver. We got our gold. We got our XRP. We got businesses that cash flow, right? And we haven't burned ourselves in debt. So right now, guys, if you prepare yourselves, get out of debt, focus on building your side hustle, focus on building your business, focus on stacking these assets that are going to transform, reset, restructure the whole damn system. That is going to be the key to your success, surviving and thriving during the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. I am your host, Zach Rector. I appreciate everyone, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all.